I'm going to be putting some of the straight, the All Nutrient Straight, and it's a one-step conditioning and smoothing agent. So I really like something on the hair before I cut it, so this works it all in. Caroline has, if you saw her hair dry, it has kind of an unruly, curly effect to it. So that will kill about 3 stones at one time. It'll make it smoother, it'll make it shinier, and it'll make it look more conditioned. So just a simple product like that can really make the hair a lot better. Now, and you know, as I cut and we get ready to dry, I feel like the straight is all worked in there, so it's less drying at the end. You don't have to stop and wet the hair back down. Now on Caroline's hair, what I'm going to be doing is a solid form. Now what we do with that, let's go over that very quickly. We will do a solid form, which it's a pure form, which is exactly straight around the head form. Now, once we really learn to do this very simply on a head, we can also go shorter in the back and longer. So there's 3 ways we could do this. We can go straight around, which is it's a very much of a statement haircut when it's done wonderful. We can go much shorter in the back and leave the sides longer if we want to. But there's different ways, but I'm going to do it straight around. Now just for an example here, we will have a solid, and this is just about the length that I'm probably going to leave Caroline. She wants hers as long as we can, so I'll be taking about 1 inch or so off. Now from the front down, we're going to come down, cut at 0. We're going to use a stationary guide at 0 all the way. Now how we don't want this to end up is short in the front and droop down in the back. We want to make sure this is straight around. So our holding angle is 0 degrees and our cutting guide will be stationary. Now here's the way we're going to section this off. Here we go. Flat of the head, let's get a horseshoe shaping in the top, because when we get the underneath cut and we pull this down over the natural fall of the head, we're almost home free. Let's section this off. Now a good way to do this, to get it exactly like you want, and I don't want to remove a lot from the front, the way I'm going to do this, I will comb everything right back from the ear area, and we're going to converge. Now there are a lot of different ways to do this. If you prefer to take it section by section, you can do that, but you're going to be more accurate if you do the way I'm going to show you right now. Converge to the back, and I want about 1 inch off, so I'm going to take my inch. Now I know that my sides are going to be totally enough length so that I don't have to worry about it. Remember, this hair is wet. When it dries, it shrinks. So I have my guide there, so I'll section in the middle, and we'll just go through piece by piece and clean it up, because I have a guide there. Right in the middle, I'm going to converge to the middle, and remember, we want to cut at 0. So I just take my shears, cut at 0. Let another piece down, section left, section right, comb to the center, and I want to continue to converge to the center. I will have a little more length on the sides than I actually want, but in lieu of taking it too short on Caroline's hair, I'm leaving a little extra length there, just to be sure. Just taking a nice clean section from the left and one from the right and working up the head form. Now let's tilt the head back just a little. Very good. Just cleaning that edge. You can either cut a straight across cut, or if you prefer, you can point cut. Either way. Sometimes I do a little of each. Now we have that very well established, and you see how easy that was to pull it to the center back. What that does is assures you you're not going to be too short in this area. Let's take just the hair that I've released there. Let's do a little cleaning there. My guide is already here, so I don't have a lot of work to do. Now let's turn her to the front, and you want to look at this with your client's chin level. Now this is a good way to do it. Let me turn her around. If the comb's straight across, most likely her chin is level, because anytime your client rotates her head this way or this way, it changes this line. And remember, I want Caroline's hair straight around. So I now comb straight down as much at 0 as I can, and I have very little to take off to be straight around. We'll go right around on the other side and comb straight down. Remember where I had it parted in the middle of the ear. Straight down and remove just a small amount of hair. She had a little layering through here, so I have an idea. I've taken off the bulk of the length that I needed to take off. Won't have a whole lot here. Just cleaning that up. Now we're going to let the top down. You see how nice it is to section that all up. Then we comb it down over the natural fall of the hair. The only thing left we have to do is to clean up the edges. Now that's coming down, and you can see as I let this down, see, hers was short, long. It was almost like in a scallop. It was short, long, short, long. So once we have this hair down, and I always like to caution everyone, comb this back more than here. If you comb it this way, you got to be short and longer here. So no one wears the hair in their face. So comb it back slightly when you make this decision on where to cut. Comb it straight down from the way the hair falls. Now we've got a nice clean cut. So now all we have to do is go around the head and just clean up the top section where we want it. How simple is that? And that's actually taken about an inch off of Caroline's hair, and that hair was a little dry anyway, so now it's laying on the floor. Just go around. Let's turn her back around, and just clean this side up as I comb it down over the natural fall of the hair. Now when I finish and dry Caroline's hair, and on each one of the models we will show you what the model's hair looked like before, because I did do before, so we'll have those for you. Now that's our solid cut. Now if you look at this from the profile, you might think, wow, it's a little longer in front, and it does look like that now. And you have to leave a little more length there, because when it dries, what happens? It shrinks up. So I can always have the option of coming back and taking a little more if I need to. So we want to be sure to leave that a little longer. And that's our solid haircut all finished. When I come back, we'll explain to you what color we put on Caroline's hair and how we did it. Back in a moment. I'm back with Caroline in her solid bob, which is really terrific on her. Now I'm going to add just a little bit of the Gloss-It, the All Nutrient Gloss-It, which is a real pliable shaping lotion. It's very good, and it's especially good. You can put just a small amount. Caroline basically has baby fine hair, so I don't want to put anything on there that's too heavy. And the Gloss-It just does just what it says. It glosses over the hair, makes it very pliable, puts a little texture back in there where you need texture, and that really plays up the cut. Now I'll tell you a little bit about what we did. A very simple little color for Caroline, and when we see her before, when we put the before up there, you'll see her hair was just like it had a multitude of colors in it, and we wanted really to get hers back in a solid color. And we use the, what do we use, Merce? You got to stand by here, Merce. I now have stopped because of this. Merce, I don't know what color I put on her.
It was the back. That's good.
I'm going to tell you a little bit about the technique that we used on Caroline. In her before, you will notice that she had a multitude of colors, a lot of bleached out pieces, a lot of inconsistencies there. Now Stephanie went through and used the star color splashing technique, which really, she only did lower pieces and left some of the little lighter pieces, but she worked it in literally in shape of a star around the head for them. And we'll be showing you that on our new color video. But anyway, that's what we used, and we used the level 4 tobacco, the darkest tobacco. So really, if you can come in a little closer, Craig, we'll show you where she did no light pieces at all, and she didn't cover every single piece of the hair. She just, in a star shape, she came in this direction. So you had a little glint of what was there before. Rather than going back in and doing more color, more light color, she just kept her remainder of the color that she already had, working in the star pattern to do the color splashing, so that you see no demarcation lines whatsoever. You just see that nice little glint of color. Works really good. The color splashing technique is particularly good on this shape doing it this way in that color. And there's our solid form, our pure solid form.